How are you guys? Congratulations on Hollywood, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I love, love, love. It's a Hollywood, to me, it's a Hollywood fantasy that's brimming with truth and a lot of what ifs. And that's what makes it intriguing for me.
Yes, I
Yes.
do.
Oh yeah.
First of all, let me say I love your shirt. I love your shirt.
Yeah, I love the
Thank
shirt.
you. I wore it today. Thanks.
Great
No,
style.
so for the truth part, Mr. Jim, let's start with
Yeah.
you. You play a real life character, right? Henry Wilson, the
Right.
star maker, the father of the beefcake era, with a very questionable hiring process.
Yes.
What made you interested in playing that part?
I wanted to work again with Ryan, and I wanted to work with the people that Ryan works with. He came to me, and I didn't have anything to read at first. He told me who the character was, and he was excited about it. And again, I really jumped at the chance to work with him. It was hard to imagine what I would read that I'd be like, oh, I'm not playing that.
Right.
Although some people might have looked at that character and said that, but he was really, he's kind of a, I think for an actor, it's like walking into a candy store. I mean, he's a complicated dude, and he's, like you say, he does some questionable things that in the safety of fact/fiction fantasy is really fun to try out when not doing it in real life.
Great answer. So, and Mr. Jake, you also play the Rock Hudson. Tell us the discussions involving the shaping of the character. Were there any trepidations in making it very real or very fantastical?
I think it was about capturing the essence of who Rock was in this specific time period, which was, his growth and becoming a star. And, I pretty much researched everything I could, get my hands on, read, and watched, all that Heaven Allows and Magnificent Obsession, Pillow Talk, and, kind of watched them on silent to understand his body language.
And Mr. Jeremy, I adore you and your character Archie, the brilliant writer. There was one scene early on in the series where your character said you're looking forward to a time where you're just going to be a writer and not the black writer.
Right.
And I think that's the heart of the series for me.
Yeah, I do. I think that is the overall arc. That's where we're trying to go. We're trying to go to this place where people can do what they want to do. There is equal opportunities for women, Black people, queer people. That is the question that we're proposing is, had we given those types of people opportunities in the 40s, how different could our industry look now? So it is very hopeful. It's very inspiring, for Archie to kind of say that and hope for that, and for these characters to move and push through and navigate and, by the end, see a glimpse of what that feels like.
That is great. And I also love how the series presents not only the dark, salacious stories we've heard of Hollywood before, but what I love the most in here too is the way it presents the shaping and then reshaping and reshaping more of a movie, the creative process in making the film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it's always amazing, even if you're in the industry, when you really step back and feel cognizant of how many people are involved and how long it takes to make any piece of art that gets released to the public from Hollywood. And that's one of the ways in which this show is a love letter to Hollywood, by highlighting that kind of effort and the amount of people involved.
That's right. Now, my last question is this: how do you think the series? How do you think the series still reflects today's Hollywood, or do you think it does still? Yeah, let's start with you, Mr. Jim.
I think it very much reflects where we are today. So many things have happened in society and by extension Hollywood in the past decade, say, for many groups that were underrepresented, and that's still happening. And I think that, like any good story that hits on the truth, it goes to show how much progress has been made, and reminds you that there's a lot more that can be done, and that any bit of progress feeds upon each other and adds more in the process.
That's right. What do you think? What about you, Mr. J?
Well, I think the battle for, equal representation and opportunities for, people of color, women, and members of the LGBTQ community is, still relevant and being wage today. So I think it's important and really inspirational and triumphant to watch a show like this.
It's empowerment. Yeah, that's right. And what about you, Mr. Pope?
I mean, everything they're saying, is very true. I feel the same way. And I think us as artists, us as activists, this generation right now, we will continue to push the needle forward and continue to ask the hard questions because there's power in our voices, there's power in our numbers. So, I do think we are representing that now. With this show, we are saying, what if you give these people opportunity and we hear new stories and see new faces? How many opportunities we could give to other people that come out.
Oh, that's right. I love you all, and I love the show again. And now I'm off to dreamland. Bye, guys.
Bye.